How do parameterized queries prevent SQL injection in Python SQLite? Imagine you're trying to protect your database from sneaky hackers who want to run malicious code. It might sound complicated, but there's a simple way to stop them. When you write Python code that talks to an SQLite database, you often need to include user input in your queries. If you just put that input directly into your SQL statement, it can be dangerous. For example, if someone enters a special string like admin, it can change what your query does. That's called SQL injection, and it can let attackers access or damage your data. Here's how it works. Say you write code like this: cursor, execute, select from users where username is equal to plus user input plus. If the user types admin, the query becomes select from users where username is equal to admin. The double hyphen starts a comment in SQL, so everything after it is ignored. This tricks the database into thinking the user is admin, bypassing security. Now, instead of building queries with string concatenation, you can use parameterized queries. These are special commands that tell the database, here's the code and here's the data. You write your query with placeholders like question marks and then pass the user input separately. For example, cursor, execute, select from users where username is equal to user input. The question mark is a placeholder. When you run this, the database treats whatever you pass as data, not as part of the SQL command. This separation is what keeps your database safe. Even if someone tries to inject malicious code, the database sees it as plain text, not as instructions to run. It's like putting a lock on your data so that no matter what someone tries to say, it can't change what the database does. Let's look at a real example. If a user enters admin as their username, the database will look for a username that literally matches that entire string. It won't interpret it as code. The database won't run the injected SQL because it treats the input as data, not as part of the command. Many beginners make the mistake of using Python string formatting or concatenation to build queries. For example, using strings like select from users where username is equal to username is just as unsafe as concatenating strings. The database still sees the user input as code, which can be exploited. Always use the database's built-in parameterized query features instead. Using question marks as placeholders and passing your data as a tuple or list is the best way to keep your database secure. It's simple, effective, and a standard practice in Python database programming. This method is essential for writing safe applications, especially when dealing with user input. So, next time you write a database query in Python with SQLite, remember to use parameterized queries. It's a quick step that makes your application much safer from SQL injection attacks. It's a smart habit that every developer should adopt to protect their data and keep their applications secure.